No one expected this as the Lakers against the Nuggets in a game where they're missing multiple starters fall barely short on the back of Dalton, Knecht, awesome Reaves. It was a very encouraging game, but in quite ironic fashion, Jamal Murray ends the Lakers' hopes of an insane upset with a game-winning step-back three. We're going to break it all down, but before we get into it, folks, quick reminder, hit that subscribe button. If you're part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, it's the place to be for daily Lakers content. Your guys' support has been unbelievable. But guys, pretty rough game there. I mean, it was a good game. Ultimately, I'm happy with the way that they fought. I'm happy with the way that they played. But the Lakers fall in pretty rough fashion here by a Jamal Murray not buzzer beating, but game winning catch and shoot wild three. It was an unfortunate one. But the bright side is we saw a game that had a lot of positives in today's game, whether that be Dalton Knecht, Austin Reaves, Jordan Goodwin, all these different guys. We'll start with you, Hunter. What did you see from tonight's game? It was an unfortunate one, but at the end of the day, no one expected the Lakers to be this close. They were. They almost won. Probably should have won. They were up 6 with a couple minutes left. But coming into it, if you would have told me this would have been the outcome, missing as many players as they were missing, I would have. It's a bad sign if you're a Nuggets fan, at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, it really was all hands on deck. It had to be all hands on deck for the Lakers to even really compete in this game, yet alone win it. I mean, the spread was 15.5 points coming off a back-to-back against a team like Denver, where you know the history and Lakers missing all these guys, and even more than they did against the Bucks and the Nets. And, pretty much it was Austin Reaves and everybody else out there. And everyone, for the most part, pretty much stepped up. Alex Len, I hope they don't even let him in El Segundo into the training facility from here on out. Like, I hope his key card just doesn't work, because this dude is absolutely, as Stephen A. Smith says, a bona fide scrub. This dude sucks. But everybody else did play pretty well tonight. I mean, Cam Reddish signing, it's bad when Cam Reddish is playing. This dude hasn't played since January, and he had to come and play 7 minutes. So you had some really good performances. I mean, Austin Reaves, yet again, showing that when his name is called upon, I mean, oh God, if the Lakers won this game, I think the play of the game would have been when Austin just rips it out of Nikola Jokic's hand, keeps it in bounds. I think that led to, I want to say, a Jordan Goodwin three, I think. They did lead the points. I know that. So that really just showed you the competitive nature that Austin is, and why you just bet on a guy like that to really kind of elevate your team. Dalton Knecht was fantastic. I mean, you needed him to be your second scorer. This was kind of like his homecoming game. He's from Colorado. That's where he was born and raised. And I mean, he had probably, after that game where I think he had 37-ish points really early in the year, this was the best game he's played ever since then. And Dalton's really starting to play much better, although there's obviously issues defensively. But I mean, even Christian Coloco giving you really good minutes. No Trey Jemison, no Jackson Hayes. Alex Len, I don't even count him as a player playing. He played pretty well. Even Markieff Morris playing pretty solid minutes as your 5, hitting some big shots for the Lakers as well. And look, it's ridiculous. Jamal Murray turns into Steph Curry every time the Lakers play the Nuggets. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's in the water, but he just turns it on. This one wasn't as ridiculous of a game winner. I mean, he was wide, butt naked open. The dude literally could have lined it up, took in a couple of dribbles, looked over to the bench and shot this ball without anyone contesting him. And that's pretty horrible defense by the Lakers there. But I think the Lakers can beat the Nuggets in that playoff series. If they're fully healthy with the current roster that they have, I am fully confident that they would whoop the Denver Nuggets, because defensively, this team sucks. They cannot guard anybody. And for the Lakers to have this little offensive depth out there and to go in there and almost win off a back-to-back, I mean, is pretty embarrassing for the Denver Nuggets. They just got bailed out that they have the better players on the other end of the court.
I mean, this is another one of those games I want to give credit to a guy like JJ Redick, because this, to me, you just gotta rile up those guys who are kind of there. You let them know from the start, all right, everybody's getting minutes. We'll see who plays well, and then we got really good effort from guys like Shake Milton, guys we haven't really seen too much in the rotation. Too much. He had 16 points off the bench, and then you talked about Coloco and Markieff Morris, guys who haven't been seeing time. Cam Reddish, who has literally, people forgot he's on the Laker roster. He's still there,
I think he
and
forgot he was on the
yeah, but he was able to get some minutes. But yeah, JJ Redick, I think he's went to that same plan that he kind of had when they played the Denver Nuggets earlier, when we had Luka Doncic game, and they were using a forward on Nikola Jokic for most of the game, and then using like their center to guard Aaron Gordon, and then they were trying to front Jokic a lot. They were trying to really make it hard for him to make catches, make plays, and just do the thing that Jokic does. Because if he doesn't have the ball, then he can't really be dangerous with the ball. So I really like what Redick was trying to do, even though with less of the personnel, Vandal was really doing a great job of just like fronting the post. But the Lakers in general, like they were just giving the effort. That was the thing that was really just glaring. They out rebounded them still in this game. A ton of offensive rebounds. I think it was like a season high. It was like 19 or something. But it was a tremendous effort level game. But then when you have guys like Vando and Goodwin in your starting lineup, those are we're gonna just run constantly, and then just couple that with the guys off the bench like Shake Milton. He's playing for a contract, and then you got Cam Reddish, playing for his life, playing for a contract. So these guys are going to give that energy and effort, and I thought JJ Redick really had a great scheme, despite with not having the right personnel. And the Nuggets definitely looked like they didn't have their foot on the gas. They didn't take the Lakers too seriously, and then Austin Reaves and Dalton Connect were really forcing the issue there. But then the Denver Nuggets, who are a good team, will still able to make some plays down the stretch, and that's where mostly they killed the Lakers. But I'm not too upset about it because we had guys out there like Dalton Connect and Christian Coloco. So these are guys haven't been in those situations too much. So I'm not really mad at them because it's very hard in those situations. Denver has been that same team for the past, what, now is it 4 years? They've had that core four at
Probably four,
least.
honestly, probably
More.
four. I mean,
I
probably
mean, I
probably
mean, I'm just talking about the
6
core
years.
four. So like because
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon got there a little bit later though. But just to my point, essentially, like they're just well connected and just know what to do in those situations. And the Lakers were really trying to figure out like kind of what works. They got some clutch threes from Connect and Goodwin, and then Austin Reaves down the stretch, and then Johnson Connect with that nice dunk but scary fall. But evidently, like they didn't come out without the win. But this is really encouraging because if the Lakers have their guys, you're right, Hunter. This Lakers team can definitely beat Denver in a playoff series.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, you mentioned under Denver's defense is bad, and it was really bad today. I mean, Dalton Connect scoring 32, Austin Reeves scoring 37. It's back-to-back great games from Austin Reeves, but I mean, they were giving up threes to everybody. They were giving up pull-up middies with ease to Shake Milton, who hasn't touched the floor very much as of late. Even Markieff Morris was a couple post moves, not the most efficient, but he was getting in his bag a little bit. So I mean, at the end of the day, we also have some Bronny minutes who I think played okay defensively, like minus his 3-point shooting. He airballed one, he missed a few. I think he's in the right spots. He has good hands on defense, had a nice steal. So I'm fine with that. But if anything, this is going to be a building block going forward for specifically Dalton Connect. We were talking about it before the game. Like Dalton Connect, this is a great game for him. It's a learning experience in clutch moments. Reeves has been there before, but even a guy like Jordan Goodwin who played okay as well. A lot of positives to take from this game. And on the other side of things, let's also not forget they shot the Nuggets, that is 22, I believe, more free throws than the Lakers did. Now, to be fair, the Lakers were hammering Jokic, but at the same time, I think if they have Luka Doncic, they have LeBron James, they have Jackson Hayes, even any one of those guys, I think, maybe aside from Jackson Hayes, maybe even with Jackson Hayes, they maybe win this game because the free throw discrepancy, although it was pretty massive, they were hacking the Nuggets quite a bit, though there were some missed calls, I think, both ways there. But at the end of the day, I think this is a good sign for Dalton Connect and a good way for him to build off of what was a good game. And they're going to have to do this going forward because that 2 seed is starting to get a little bit, not out of reach necessarily, but they're falling down the rankings a little bit.
Yeah, and I think what JJ Redick said, I think a few weeks ago, they just want to avoid the play-in tournament, right? And we've talked about it on here if you guys have been watching us. Like the Lakers haven't avoided the play-in tournament when they've made the playoffs since the play-in tournament has existed. So obviously they didn't make it in 2022, but ever since the play-in tournament has been a thing, the Lakers have been in the play-in tournament, and they're still in a position right now where as long as they don't completely landslide, avalanche down the standings, they should still avoid the play-in tournament. The most important thing, number one, is can you get LeBron healthy, all these guys healthy for the playoffs? Are you going to have a fully healthy roster? That is the most important thing right now for the Los Angeles Lakers. It's great to see guys step up, of course, in a game like this. Yeah, you lose. It's not great. But if anything, it does give you confidence in some of these guys. And I think, to kind of build off that point, Nick, like Dalton Connect, I look at the Lakers when they made the Western Conference Finals a couple years ago, right? And Okechi, I know you definitely know this, like the Lonnie Walker game, right? Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals against the Golden State Warriors will forever be the Lonnie Walker game because of the way he stepped up in that game. Dalton Connect has that ability to completely like destroy your game plan, right? And when you have LeBron and Luka Doncic and all these guys out there, he's gonna get a lot more cleaner looks than he did tonight. And as a result, he could be someone who can erupt for like a 25-point game and then be the difference in a game in the playoffs. So as long as he's good enough defensively, which he's getting better, he's not quite there yet, but at least a little better than what he was earlier this year. This could be someone offensively for this year, and maybe a blessing in disguise that they didn't trade him from Mark Williams down the road. That could potentially be a massive offensive threat for the Lakers in the immediate future and, of course, in the years to come.
I mean, you're totally right that like Dalton Connect, that probably that last building block is that defensive part because that is going to be the thing that keeps him on the floor. It when come playoff time because really there in that last sequence, I was really hoping the Lakers would switch out Dalton Connect for somebody else, but there wasn't really anybody else to switch Dalton Connect out for that moment. So we got that there, but this is why it's important to have some of your backline defenders and their defenders. So Dorian guys like LeBron James, they're so important to like the Laker defense and just calling out what to do in what situation. And if you have those guys on the floor, it kind of helps paper over some of those mistakes that some of these young players can make because those guys can get you in the right spots, especially defensively because LeBron with the amount of years he has on this league and then Dorian Finney-Smith with his just versatility of just how many different positions he can play. So he could be the back line and be a guy but he's always a guy that's just talking, communicative, and that's a big important thing when it comes to defense, especially in higher leverage moments.
Yeah, it's going to be a interesting last handful of weeks here before the season wraps up, and hopefully the Lakers can stay out of a playing spot. But let us know down below what your thoughts are on the game. Dalton Connect was the star of the show, but also some more credit to Austin Reaves. I know he was kind of one of the regulars in there. He had a fantastic game, and since his injury and his couple games after that, he's been over the past couple games, he's been looking a lot better. But let us know down below what your thoughts are. A loss in the standings, but I know to some Lakers fans it was a bit of a win with the way that these guys fought and played. So let us know down below what your thoughts are. Thank you guys for watching.